Hello all. I am writing here kind of as a last-ditch effort to understand or to kind of get some advice or encouragement on my current situation. For context, I, F20, and my boyfriend, M23, have been together for almost 2.5 years. While I would love to say we have had a wonderful and perfect relationship for the past 2.5, I would 100% be lying. My boyfriend and I met about 2.5 years ago when I was entering in my junior year of college at the college that he was already attending. We grew up in the same small town and attended rival high schools, so we always knew of each other, but we did not have any sort of friendship or relationship until we both started attending the same college in our town. I would like to add to this that this is a case of mommy issues from my boyfriend's side of the family. Unfortunately, the first 2 months of mine and my boyfriend's relationship were wonderful, but on his 21st birthday, everything took a downhill turn. Over the last 2 years, I have endured all kinds of mistreatment and disrespect from not only his family, but at times him. When I am referring to the disrespect from him, I mean that he allows his family and friends to disrespect me. I won't bore you with all of the crazy details of the last 2 years, however, I will add in details from pretty big events that have led to the situation that we are currently in. Speaking of his 21st birthday, we had thrown a large party for him. I estimate probably around 40 people had attended the birthday party at his house. While I don't want to add this, I must for context in this situation, he comes from a very well-off family, and it is also very well known around our town. I am adding this in so that you understand how we could fit 40 people in this house comfortably. With that being said, I will say that his mom has had very strict rules from day one. Some of these rules being that we are not allowed to spend the night together. He was not allowed to use any money on me. His phone was being blown up all the time asking who he was with, where he was at, and what time he would be coming home. And up until about a year ago, he had somewhat of a curfew of his mom texting him asking him when he would be home. Yes, I know this sounds outrageous, as he was 20 when we got together, and he is now 23. This was definitely an adjustment for myself because my parents and I have a wonderful relationship, and we have built trust over the years to where my parents in no way, shape, or form have ever controlled or limited what I did and who I was with at any time. Anyways, sorry for the delay getting to his 21st birthday party, which is one of the biggest events that has happened thus far in our relationship, but don't worry, there's more as well. On his 21st birthday, he had been told not to ask if I could spend the night because that was a rule of hers that she would not be changing or letting it slide just because it was his birthday. And no, I would like to add to this, though, as early in the day, she had asked me if I was going to be drinking, and she encouraged me to, knowing that I was 18 at the time and that I had driven myself, but she assured me she would get me an Uber home and not to worry about it, that she would make sure I was taken care of. Later that night, my boyfriend had gone up to her and asked if I could spend the night, and she absolutely lost it. She had been drinking as well. But this does not excuse the things that she said. I was in the corner of the room when she started yelling in front of everybody who was attending the party. "How dare you ask if she can stay the night? You know she is not welcome to stay here." Along with other things, but as soon as I saw that she had started yelling and was hearing some of the things that she was saying, I decided to walk down the stairs to take a moment because I felt myself beginning to cry, and everyone had been staring at me, checking to make sure I was okay. This resulted in a huge fight between me and my boyfriend and a serious conversation he had to have with his mother, which we thought was going to fix things, but for the next 2.5 years she had held this against me, and any small inconvenience or any minor situation, I was constantly fully blamed and had to bear all of the punishment that came with any of the mishaps. I will also add I still live at home, and so does my boyfriend. It got to a point where there was months and months of these nasty looks, uncalled for comments, and petty decisions that were completely excluding me from any family events where I had brought it up to my boyfriend that if something didn't change, I would be leaving him. So I reached out to his mother and asked her if we could all go to lunch one day to have a conversation. She ignored me until she talked to my boyfriend, and he had to convince her to also join the lunch. When she got there to the lunch, she walked in with an attitude from hell and said, "We are here for a reason, so let's get to it." Mind you, I didn't really know what the big issue was, so I was a little caught off guard, and during this entire conversation, I had tried to communicate how I had felt that I had done something and that I was not okay with the disrespect or exclusion of me and my family from any events when my family has been super supportive and loving towards my boyfriend. Again, I would like to add during this conversation, I was extremely respectful and considerate of her feelings and my boyfriend's as well, and looking back, I wish that I had not been this way. For an hour and a half, I got berated and blamed for every minuscule and issue that had come up during my boyfriend and I's relationship. I was told why I was a bad girlfriend and how basically everything was my fault. She told me that if I wasn't liking the way that I was being treated by her and the rest of my boyfriend's family, that my expectations were too high and that I shouldn't expect that from people who barely knew me. After this, I kind of took a step back. I didn't really want to be involved in any family gatherings or events. My boyfriend was a college athlete for a Division II sport, and eventually I stopped going out of my way, and anything that I was invited to or any games that I had to attend, I really didn't say much because I had always felt like an outcast for some unknown reason that I couldn't figure out. My boyfriend and his family have gone on numerous trips, 2 weeks in Europe, 2 weeks in the Keys every year, a week in Cabo, a week in Utah, etc. While I don't have problems with my boyfriend taking trips, it does get to be a bit much when it is constant, and he doesn't know until the last minute. So when I had work events that were happening or important things that were going on in my life, he was almost never able to attend because some sporadic trip that he never knew about was popped up. This is giving you an inkling to just about how much his life was controlled from his family, specifically his mom. About 6 months ago, on of the continued mistreatment, and my boyfriend sits down with his family to have a conversation about why I was being treated the way that I was. I know that this should have happened a lot sooner, but this is my first real long-term relationship, and I was trying to figure things out as we were going along as well. I also was trying to figure out what I had done so wrong to make everybody in his family hate me so much. To this day, I still do not understand why I was treated the way that I was for 2 years. I will say that there are hundreds of events or things that have happened in the time that my boyfriend and I have been together, but those are 2 large ones that you can kind of get an understanding of what the situation entails. This summer in June, I had had enough, and I told my boyfriend that if this had not stopped, I would 100% be leaving him for good this time, and there were no second chances. So again, his family this time invited me over to their house, and again his father, myself, and his mother sat at the table and had a discussion, and his father has really never been disrespectful or rude to me. He's pretty quiet, but that's just him as a person. However, his mom and I got into it this time, and I am proud to say that I stood up for myself and had to defend my character to people who have not given me the chance or put in any effort to get to know me over the last 2.5 years that we have been together. She brought up all of the reasons why she was still treating me the way that I was. She blamed me for him being unhappy and asking him to spend more time with me because he has required brother time, which again I know is crazy, but I do love my boyfriend and I understand that he is very close with his family, so there were certain situations where I understood and I was okay with it. During this conversation, it got very heated, and at some points we were yelling at each other, but at the end of it we decided that we would do a fresh start in a clean slate, that we would leave everything that had happened in the past, and we would move forward towards a new beginning. I made it very clear that my intention was to be with my boyfriend for the rest of my life, that I loved him, and wanted to start a life with him. We had planned to move out this summer, but that was squashed by his parents, who said that they didn't feel comfortable with us moving out together until they felt comfortable. This was another issue that was brought up during this conversation as well. I have felt for the last 2.5 years of my life that they have controlled almost every aspect of not only mine and my boyfriend's relationship, but also the future that we are planning to have with each other. I have blamed his family for so long for pretty much everything, but now my eyes are starting to open to the fact of he is also to blame. This past weekend, his mother planned a trip for everyone to go on except for me, his immediate family, as well as their family friends, and some additional friends of my boyfriend, as well, to go to Universal for his birthday. I was not invited, and this brought up a pretty big issue of me still not being included and invited to things that meant a lot. Not only was this something that meant a lot, but this was supposed to be his birthday celebration, and wouldn't you want the birthday boy to be able to choose where he wanted to go and who attended, because this event was completely planned by his mom, and she chose the people that attended. Again, I know that I am missing a lot of details, but I don't want to post too much on here to lose too many people that I am desperately needing advice from. But the question lies, AITAH, for giving my boyfriend the ultimatum to finally put his family in their place and be the man that he should be, and to treat me like the future wife that he has said many times he wants me to be, or that I am going to leave him, because I'm tired of the constant disrespect from not only him but his family as well. If you have any questions or need me to clarify anything, please reach out. I am desperate to know what I should do.